Avatar: The Last Airbender, a beloved cartoon series created over 19 years ago that has recently gained public attention either from fans who saw the show as a kid and decided to rewatch as an adult, or the Netflix live-action adaptation. With this surge of popularity, many ATLA-inspired games have popped up all over the place, even in VR, and this is exactly what I want to explore in today's video. I have 5 games lined up. We're gonna try them all and figure out which one is the best Avatar: The Last Airbender VR game. Starting strong, our first entry is a game called Magitek that's still in development but has a ton of content already and has been improving for a while now. I've actually played Magitek quite a few times on this channel, so I'd recommend checking out some of those for additional content. Magitek focuses on more of an elemental magic approach instead of trying to copy bending that is so unique to Avatar: The Last Airbender. Nonetheless, we do still have the 4 elements you see in the show at your disposal, including water, earth, fire, and air. The spells are half gestures, half buttons. As you'll see later in this video, some games require strict movements to complete moves, and some of them are just straight button mashing, but this one falls right in between with a good balance of the two. For example, you'll have to hold the trigger for all of the attacks, but they vary based on what movements you do. For me, fire and air are the most fun to play with, while water and air seem a bit bland. The moves can be finicky and are sometimes hard to remember, but when you get the hang of it, you're having a great time. As a VR game, it's great, and I definitely recommend checking it out, but as an ATLA game, I'll have to give it a 7.
We'll take it.
Next, we're taking a look at a small indie game that dates all the way back to 2017. For a VR game, that's pretty old. The game is called Elemental Combat, and it focuses on elemental PvP with either real people or bots. And that's it. It's a really simple game, and you could tell that it really never got developed past its launch. It feels like it's kind of stuck in that early PC VR era where people were still trying to figure out how to make VR games. The elements in this game are textured to look more realistic rather than the cartoony feel we got from Magitek. In terms of gestures and buttons, this game is heavily reliant on buttons, and the only gesture you really do is a punch, if you want to call this a punch. This game is alright for when you want to turn your brain off and sling some rocks, but honestly, I would still recommend Magitek over it. The gameplay is repetitive and gets boring after a while, so Elemental Combat gets a 3.
That's rough, buddy.
Now we're checking out the one you've probably been waiting for. If you've ever heard of that one earthbending VR game, yep, that would be Rumble. This game has a reputation for being stubborn and difficult, but extremely rewarding. By this, I mean that this game is entirely gesture-based, no buttons, therefore you have to learn every single move as if you were a real earthbender. The margin of error here is incredibly low, so you better make sure you're accurate. I played this game in early access, and I had such a great time learning all the moves and dominating in public fights. I got to the highest belt possible, and then I was just reset. I got back on the game a couple times after that, but wasn't really keen on putting all the work in again, so I just don't play it now. This game really does take some work to get good at, believe me, but it is so much fun when you get used to its system and get better at earthbending. Everything feels so natural because of the gesture-based system, and your improvements feel earned because of the work you put in. For a hardcore and true bending experience, Rumble gets an 8.5.
That's good.
Next up is not one that many of you will know, and this is because it is an extremely early access and only a select amount of people can experience it right now. This game is called Elements Divided as of now, and I just so happen to be one of those lucky few who have access, so I thought I would include it in this list. Let me just start off by saying first impressions mean a lot, and in Elements Divided, oh boy, they do not disappoint. When I tell you, I felt so powerful lifting up a whole earth wall so effortlessly. Bro, I felt like this game was the game of my dreams. I've gotta say, where Magitek fails in Earth and Water, This game delivers. I think that Earth is probably my favorite element in this game specifically, but all of them feel great to use. This game obviously has a long way to go, but the core experience of feeling the elements is so important in an ATLA game. This could probably be one of the greatest bending games to exist, especially in VR. Elements Divided isn't shy about using the concept of bending either, and they're embracing the ATLA style. This game uses a mixture of buttons and gestures, maybe leaning more towards gestures, but in my opinion, it is a perfect balance.
You are right. I do have the power. I have all the power in the world!
To check out the last game, we're gonna have to switch over to Standalone VR, in which the 3 Meta Horizon worlds we'll be looking at reside. The Water, Fire, and Earth battling games will be treated as one since they have similar gameplay but with different elements. These worlds are all made by the same person, I believe, and honestly, they've done such a great job with the limited tools available in Meta Horizon worlds. The fighting is mostly button mashing with a touch of gestures, but they're just fun games you can jump right into and expect a not so serious PvP experience. As an ATLA game though, I'd probably give it a 4.5 only because I enjoyed it a little bit more than Elemental Combat.
I thought my life was boring in the Fire Nation, but this place is unbearably bleak.
So there you have it. 5 unique Avatar: The Last Airbender inspired VR games that you can currently play, rated 1 through 10. Did we find the best ATLA VR game though? Maybe the best one available right now, but probably not the best one ever. I think we'll have to wait and see how the rest of development goes for both Elements Divided and Magitech. Who knows, we could have an official Avatar: The Last Airbender VR game sometime in the future, but this is what we've got to work with for now. I definitely recommend giving all of these a try. That is the end of the video. I hope you all enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. I'm kind of branching out in my style, but of course I will be posting more of the same Rec Room Dodgeball stuff, you know, just branching out a little bit. But thank you to my members Sleepy and Vladimir. I will see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.